Good evening, sir. I welcome you to this meeting. It's just a small group of students that we have invited, and it is an induction program. And we wanted you to talk on investment, as I felt you are the best person to enlighten them what is the essential of investment and where exactly to invest. Since we have been teaching the bookish knowledge, I would expect you, I request you to talk about practical knowledge also. Just an introduction about Sir. Sir is the CEO of Churiwala Securities Private Limited. He's been on news constantly, either in Economic Times or CNBC or such other high-profile magazines, BBC, Sahara News, Star News, etc. And Sir is also holding his BCom and Executive Diploma degrees from Government Law College, IIM Ahmedabad, and Indian School of Business, Hyderabad. And he has over 20 years of experience in the capital market. And I don't think anybody else would be able to, help us with capital market and its insights. So thank you very much, sir. Over to you, because I want to keep it short so that you speak more. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for, and sir was yesterday, he's such a busy person. The moment I requested him, he said, I'll get back to you in the evening, and he usually gets back to me with a positive response. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Over to you, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for those kind words. Youngsters, I believe. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, we hear you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
We hear you.
you're audible.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, it's always a pleasure to talk to interact with youngsters, because youngsters are country, and whatever knowledge that we may have gained along our career, and slight correction I want to make to you, and just in on a lighter note, that I've spent now 3 decades in the capital market, not just to the last time how do you do screen share here? Share screen here. Okay, got it. Yeah. So this is a small, a very small presentation that I have prepared to aid and assist our students to focus better. So, financial fitness, what is it? It is essentially, first of all, being aware of the fact that you have to be financially fit. And why do you need to be financially fit? You need to be financially fit for the simple reason it gives you the ability to plan financial activities in a manner that help fulfill your goals. Today, and I'm going to keep talking of a lot of examples as we go along. Everybody has certain income and certain expenses. Now, for a student, perhaps the source of income to start with may be pocket money. But how many of us do do we actually plan? And I'm sure a lot of us, especially most of us are commerce students in this room today, would be planning if this is the amount of pocket money that I get, this much I'm going to spend on maybe a movie, this much I'm going to spend on eating out, this much I'll spend on probably treating my friends. And some of you, and I certainly hope some of you, are putting aside a little of that money that maybe I want to buy the new watch, or I want to buy a new iPod, or new clothes. It could be anything, but you save for a future requirement that you foresee today. And that is what planning helps you do. It helps you budget. Now, you will have heard this word budget a lot. What is this budget? A budget is nothing but a statement of your income and expenditure. These are the various sources from where I'm going to get my money. These are the various sources where I'm going to spend the money. Now, the good thing about budget is that right from a housewife to a student, to a college, to companies, and even countries have to make their budget, because it is this planning that they need to do before they start committing spending more and more money. Of course, these days it's become very prevalent to spend more than you earn. And countries, mind you, have the liberty to do that. And why do they have the liberty to do that? Because countries have something that most of us common people don't. They have a note printing machine. Yeah, it's known as the mint, right? So that is where notes are printed. So today, when you hear that a country's budget is in deficit, what it means is that there is a mismatch on the income side and expenditure side. Expenses are more, income is less, but government being government says, okay, Ramlal, press chalu rakho 24 घंटा हम और note छापेंगे. So they can do that. We can't do that. So countries like America are also printing trillions of dollars. And that is perhaps one of the reasons why inflation is going up all over the world. More about that later. But from our limited perspective, for financial fitness, it is essential to plan. And right now, the key word that I want you to hold on to is planning your financial activities in a manner that help you fulfill your goals. How do we do it? Easier said than done, right? I mean, we all say that we must plan, but I'm going to give you some tips, some piece of advice, how you can plan on your financial fitness journey. And believe you me, if there are a few pointers that you can take from today's session, most of these tips are timeless tips. They are going to stand you in good stead throughout your life, whether you are running your own pocket money fund, you're running your own household, you're running your own company, you're running a cooperative society, or you're running a country. These tips hold good for all classes. The first step, and I'm sure you've heard your parents rant and rave about it all the time. Save, save, save. What is this saving? For us, students, it could be saving a little out of our pocket money. And like I said, keeping that pocket money aside for a future need. Maybe you want to take that trip to Manali and save some money for that. You want to do it on your own. So that's going to help you. As you get a job, as you move out in the job market, It will be very essential because then your goals will change. You will want to buy a new bike. You will probably want to buy that new fancy new mobile phone. You will probably want to save up as your age progresses to buy a house. But this is what saving can enable you to do. Because the earlier you start saving from whatever source of income you have, it will make life that much easier. We come from an age and time where saving was the done thing. In today's day and age, India is moving into a consumerist economy where easy availability of credit is there. So you are having the credit card economy. Loans are very easily available. This was the situation of America about 20-25 years back. And you'll see that their society is a highly leveraged society, wherein people spend first, borrow, spend, and by the time they get their income, all the money away the minimum payment cards. For people, a credit per percent interest per month may not sound so much to you today, but when you look at it on an annualized basis, it works to 36% interest, which is 36 rupees to borrow 100 rupees per year. So that is a hell of a lot of. And do you know what you earn when you put money 5 days? 6 rupees is maximum what you will get out of it. And as commerce students, it's also very essential for us to know what the rate of inflation is. The rate of inflation is almost 7%. Now, if that be the case, if your money is lying in savings account, your money is definitely not growing, because 100 rupees in your pocket today will not buy the same goods and services after a year, because the value of money will have gone down by the percentage of inflation that there is. So in effect, if you have saved 100 rupees, great, you've saved, you've taken the first step, right? But if you've put it in your savings bank account for saving, you have actually ended up doing yourself some disservice, because you have not allowed your money to grow. Inflation is growing faster than your income is growing. It is very essential, therefore, to get into the habit of saving. In fact, people from the good old days used to say that if you get 100 rupees income and you have confirmed expense of 80 rupees or 70 rupees or whatever, first take out 20 rupees, which is going to be lying balance for saving. Whatever is left, spend out of that. Not for a minute am I saying that don't spend on necessities. Of course, to live, we do need to spend on necessities: food, clothing, shelter, medicine, maybe some amount of entertainment. But the moment you build this habit, and all through the evenings, friends, I'm going to keep repeating, I'm going to keep stressing on the power of saving, on the power of starting to save early. And I'm very thankful topics so early on in your careers, that if this is drilled in your heads now and you end up following it, you will be doing your careers a great service. Make monthly budgets. At our level, to get into a habit of budget making, what is a budget? Like I said, a budget is nothing but a summary of income on one side, of expense on the other side, and you just have it in front of you. You know what your estimated income is going to be. You know what your estimated expenses are going to be. Do it at the beginning of the month. The good part is you can first make this budget, which is nothing but an estimate. And then later, when you've actually earned that income and spent that money, you can do a comparison as to how much money came in and how much money went out. And did you estimate it correctly? The moment you do it for 2, 3, 4 months, you'll see you become very good and very accurate at this exercise. And that will also help you cut down on superfluous expenses. Superfluous expenses. Now, I'll give you examples of how I cut down on my superfluous expenses. I love to watch movies and I love going to multiplex, right? But going for a movie in a multiplex means 350 rupees ticket. At times going up to 500, 600 rupees also, if it's a blockbuster movie. But keeping a keen eye on saving, what do? The same movie in the same multiplex, I prefer to watch it on a Sunday morning or a Saturday morning. That is pre-pandemic time. Please bear me out. The same movie in a similar kind of multiplex is available at 1/3 the rate. Sunday morning show or a Saturday morning show. So you've not compromised on watching your movie. You've not compromised on the kind of theater that you go to, but at the same time, you've ended up saving. Also, you have to learn the power of money, the value of money. Now, popcorn in a multiplex can cost 50 rupees. Ask yourself, is it worth it? Similar superfluous expenses in your own lifestyles that you might think you can cut out and which you should wherever possible. Wherever not possible, don't. But be aware of what you are spending and be alive to the fact that yes, maybe I can save. You know, everyone talks about income, expenses, assets, liabilities. And this is a slide that I use for all my non-financial classes or people who are not from the finance background. I have rewired the definitions for everything. So forget what you are going to learn in BCom for the time being. But right now, be with Alok Churiwala's definition of what income is, what expenses are, what assets are, and what liabilities are. These are very simple definitions. And if you remember, you'll be able to remember them for a lifetime. And I will tell you with examples why these definitions hold true in every aspect of life. Whenever money comes in to your pocket, it is income. Now, whether it is income for you personally, whether it is for your company, whether it is for your country, any place, money coming in is income. Money going out is expense. Simple, very clear. Now, what do you call an asset? And here is where the trick begins. What do you call an asset? You'll say, the shiny new cricket bat that you bought, would you call that an asset? Perhaps. If you are earning money using that bat, if you are a Sachin Tendulkar, yes, that bat is certainly an asset. But if you are a weekend player, you have bought a fancy, expensive cricket bat just for the heck of it, just for your passion for cricket, you cannot count that as an asset. Let's say you buy a car. Traditionally, finance people will say it has to go on the asset side of your balance sheet. Perhaps, yes, it does. And it should, maybe. But for our own financial fitness, let me tell you, a car is not an asset. And why do I say a car is not an asset? The moment you drive out of that shiny new car, out of the showroom, it loses its value. If you bought the car for 100,000 rupees, chances are you will not be able to sell it for the same rate 2 minutes after you've driven it out of the showroom. It's a depreciating asset. So whenever your asset depreciates and you're not making money out of it, as a matter of fact, what happens when you buy a car? You are paying for its petrol, you're paying for its parking, you're paying for its maintenance and upkeep. If it gets dented, you have to pay for its repair. So it's money going out. So a car, in my view, is perhaps not an asset. Similarly, if you are a taxi driver, or if you are running business of an Ola or a Uber partner, the same car becomes an asset for you because it starts generating income for you. Similarly, let me bust another myth. House, the house which you rent out can be considered an asset because similarly, your life or for your life goal may be rubbish for the person next door. So you have to build your life. You have to build your profile of bonds according to you. So there's an old saying that goes, cut your coat according to your cloth available. So for each person, it will be a different shape, size, and length. No two people interpret the same event. Now, if I come to stock, when there is a news that comes into the market, some people are running to buy that share and the others are running to sell that share. Why does that happen? Because no two people interpret same event in the similar fashion. While some people believe that it must be a buying opportunity for them, some people think it's maybe time to sell. And one of the reasons to sell is maybe they think it's bad news, or they think they have made enough money in the stock, or maybe they are just tired of that stock and they want to move on for a better investment. I always believe that whatever your main preoccupation in life is, you should always try and build up other preoccupations and different income streams. Like you all are college students, great. Your primary goal and objective right now is academics, excel in academics. But believe you me, a commerce course offers you enough time, knowledge, and ability to take a part-time job somewhere, to do some freelance work, to do something that can give you that extra pocket money. And I remember in my college, when we used to be looking for extra pocket money, we used to end up doing survey forms that would give us maybe 2 rupees per form filled. So we had to probably stand outside Churchgate station and, oncoming people, stop them, take their opinion and all. Of course, a lot of this activity has now moved online. Those were the offline days. So things are different now. But in today's day, age, time, also, I believe that there are enough avenues where social media, writing research papers. So there are various things you can do, but I do beseech you that please go ahead and create for yourself an additional income source, and not just now while you're in college. Once you get onto a job, apart from your salary, you must ensure that you have other sources of income coming as well. Maybe in addition to the job, you can do a part-time job. Maybe you can do freelance assignments. Maybe you can work weekends. So there are various. And never put all your eggs in one basket. When I say alternate investment avenues, so if you think you're going to be investing in share market, yes, share market is great, but also have some money which will take care of maybe 3 months, 6 months expenses in the bank. Because the importance of saving came home to at the time of this pandemic. It is those people who had saved for a rainy day. My friends, this pandemic was the rainy day that nobody had thought of. And people who had saved, they were able to tide through this very, very difficult period that much more easily than people who had not saved. Because it is such unforeseen events that perhaps come but once in 100 years. But in our personal lives, there could be many unforeseen events that can happen. Maybe you fall ill. Maybe the company you're working shuts down, or there could be so many other calamities. The pandemic, what we went through as a country, much as lost your job. Now, look at people in the travel and tourism business. Look at people in the restaurant business. Look at people in the theater business, the airline business. They're all suffering even today. And it is only saving, if at all, if they've had, that will have come to their rescue. For everything that we do, we have to set our own rules and obey them. Who are these rules set by? It is set by you, the individual. Who are they set for? They are set for yourself. And who is going to follow them? You yourself are going to follow. Everyone's heard of the famous scientist Albert Einstein. He has said this very interesting thing. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And he who understands it earns it. And he who doesn't pays it. Friends, I want all of you to be on the side of understanding what compound interest is and be someone who earns it and not pays it, because it is the power of compounding which is making money simple. There are two to start investing early, giving time for your investment, and second is to stay invested and not withdraw money in between and let it grow. Now, this investment that I'm talking about only stock be something as simple as it could be something as simple as investing in a fixed deposit or a saving account. The power of compounding does not reduce. Your percentage may reduce, but compounding over time will keep creating its magic. Let me explain this concept in investment parlance. Let us start with the story of hare and tortoise. The hare saves rupees 10,000 every year for the first 10 years. After that, he saves nothing. However, he compounds his money at the rate of 15% for 30 years.